This is probably the most important step in this process of boosting your recruiting efforts. The key is to find someone who actually believes in diversity beyond the business case for diversity. You certainly are going to hear lots of conversations, and if you read anything on the internet or anything on social media, there's a lot of information about the business case for diversity and how much more diverse teams are than non-diverse teams. You're also going to hear a lot about inclusion, belonging, and making sure that your workplace is a place where everyone could be themselves. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that. What is really key here, because if you've done any diversity recruiting, you know it's a challenge, and especially in this market, there's lots of challenge, there's lots of competition, and the candidates are being inundated by recruiters reaching out and talking to them. And my guess is that you're probably going to be looking for the same candidates that every other small and large company is looking for. So selecting that champion who doesn't actually have to be an executive, here are some characteristics of what you want to look for when you're selecting that diversity champion. Look at somebody who might have benefited from diversity recruiting efforts. I didn't talk about this in the beginning, but I am super passionate about diversity and want to help a lot of other companies get better at diversity recruiting because I personally benefited from diversity recruiting. My recruiter, when I joined the Navy, was very intentional about trying to get more women and minorities into the officer ranks of the Navy, and it made a difference. And for me, it's caused me to be a bigger champion for diversity than I might be if I were just looking at the business case for diversity. When you're selecting this champion, and this could be a little controversial in your organization, but you want to look for someone who has a diverse set of friends, or they interact with lots of different people. If you find someone who is passionate about diversity, they may not have that diverse set of friends, and they may be a great ally for you in your efforts, but they might not have what it takes to be the champion, because when it gets tough, you need someone who really believes in what you're trying to accomplish with your diversity recruiting efforts. You want to have someone who's going to be able to be a relationship builder. One of the keys to getting diverse talent to engage in any talent is relationships. So being able to go out and naturally form those relationships and spend time with the people you're trying to recruit, that's a key. So you want the champion to have that attribute. Somebody who's engaging and driven and focused, who can take and handle problems, who can come up with ideas. All those things are going to be things that are going to make your efforts take off much quicker than they would if you were just kind of working from a playbook. The other thing about the diversity recruiting section, there are two pieces to diversity. There's the cultural work that happens internal to a company where you're trying to make sure that it's an inclusive environment. People can be who they say they want to be. They can feel like they belong, and there's equity in the organization. All the things that go into building out a corporate culture that is inclusive and diverse. Those are all critical things. That's one side. That's the more programmatic initiatives, effort focused with the culture. The other side, and this is where I live, is on acquisition. How do you identify the talent? How do you go find the talent? And how do you get them engaged? And it's important to know how to recruit. So you need someone who understands the recruiting world, talent acquisition, the difficulty of finding talent, the difficulty of competing with other companies who are looking for that same rare talent. You want that person to have that recruiting background. So they may be a senior person or they may be more junior, but you're looking for those kind of characteristics in the person who's going to drive and lead a lot of these efforts. And you want someone with a wide range of experiences. A big part of working in this space and trying to recruit talent is overcoming some of the challenges and having insight and visibility into other things other than just recruiting for the roles that they're recruiting on. So if you can find someone who's got those characteristics, that's going to help boost your diversity recruiting efforts. And it's going to give you the passionate person behind working on your diversity efforts, because it's anyone who's done diversity recruiting knows this is a challenging space to be in. And it's much easier just to go put a person in a seat than it is to make sure that you're providing that diverse slate of talent.